Hi there, I hope you're having a great week this week, and I wanted to talk in this video this week about workflow a little bit. And just as a quick side note, I am recording from the Language Lab here at the Nampa campus, and I wanted to do that in part to make sure that you're aware that this exists. It's in the back corner of the tutoring center on the second floor. And I know that some of you don't live close enough to the campus for this to be a realistic option for you, but if you do, the Nampa campus near the Garrity exit is pretty easy to get to from anywhere in the valley, and there's this language lab and it's dedicated for language students, so sign language, French and Spanish students get the full run of this little room back here. And there are 6 computers, you can see one of them behind me, that have headphones and microphones and webcams. So that's what I'm recording from, is one of those webcams. So if you're having trouble with finding a webcam to use for your live chat assignments, this might be a good option for you. So keep in mind that this is here. You can use it for homework or live chat, or also if you look at the calendar, the Spanish tutoring calendar in Blackboard, Spanish faculty are in this language lab for an hour or so various times throughout the week. So if you're looking for somebody to help you with your assignments, any of the Spanish faculty have taught 101 and would be happy to help you with anything that you're struggling with. I'm here on Wednesdays from 11 to 12, and it's just a great area, a great space to be able to get some help with your work. So just a little plug for the Language Lab. Then I wanted to talk about weekly workflow, and this is applicable for everybody, but especially for those of you who, because of work schedule or school schedule or family schedules, you're mostly working on this class on the weekends. It is a sorry, got distracted. There's big windows here that I can see into the rest of the tutoring center, so I apologize. I'm going to try to stay focused on talking to you guys. So the weekly assignments, they always start on a Monday. Our weekly workflow it starts on a Monday and goes through the following Sunday at midnight. So we have a Monday to Sunday workflow. But for some of you who work, you're having to do all of your work on the weekends, and I don't want you to have to cram all of your work and all of your letting your brain assimilate this new content into just Saturday and Sunday. So I always make the next week's folder available on Friday of the previous week. So for example, this next unit will be week 5, and it technically starts next Monday, February 10th or 11th, whatever that date is. But instead, I will open it the Friday before that. So you actually technically have 2 weekends that you can work on that work. Now I don't want you to get confused, because if you get in too much of the week 5 content, then that week 4 content that you're wrapping up you might get a little bit overwhelmed with content. But I have some ideas for you for how you can make use of that early weekend before the week starts to set yourself up to work on the material throughout the week. So there are some tools that you can make more readily available to yourself throughout the week, so that even if you don't have time during the week to sit down and log into Blackboard, log into my Spanish lab, and dedicate a big chunk of time to working on Spanish homework, you can be at least getting yourself familiar with the content and the vocabulary, especially for the new materials. So one of those is audio files. So when you go into a new week of content, you will notice that any week that we have vocabulary, there will be MP3 files of the vocabulary. One will be just listing out the vocabulary and reading that out. And then another will be the conversation that's in the textbook using that week's vocabulary. So you can download those to your smartphone or your computer or anywhere else that you would have easy access to those MP3 files. And that way you can listen to them when you're driving or running or whatever you do throughout the week. You can be listening to that vocabulary and getting familiar with it. And then also there's YouTube videos. I have YouTube videos either that I've recorded or that I've found and curated for you from YouTube to accompany almost all of the grammar lessons that we cover. And sometimes there will be more than one and occasionally there will be YouTube videos about other content as well besides grammar. But what you can do with those YouTube videos is when you look at that video in YouTube, you can add it to your own playlist. You can create a playlist. So if you're logged into YouTube, which if you have any kind of Google account, that Google account also works for your YouTube login. And so then you can create a Spanish 101 playlist, and you can add those videos to that playlist. And if you want to, you can add, it'll have the default title of the video, but I believe you can change the title too, so you could add week 5, or you could create a playlist for each week, whatever you need to do to organize it so you can access it more easily. But then when you are logged in to your YouTube account on your phone or your computer or whatever, you'll have those, without having to dig for them in Blackboard, you'll have those videos already saved and easily accessible. So again, if you don't have time to work on assignments, you might, while you're waiting for a doctor's appointment or on the bus or just in between things where you have a few minutes here and there, you could watch a quick YouTube video. And then the final idea to help you work on things throughout the week is to use flashcards. So Quizlet is an app that a lot of students like. You can add the app, you can access the flashcards in Quizlet on a computer, but you can also download the app to your smartphone or tablet and access them there as well. So if you look at course documents, our course documents folder in Blackboard, you'll see an item that has the links for all of the Quizlet vocabulary lists for our textbook chapters. So once you've saved those to your Quizlet account, then again, you don't have to have your textbook right there. You don't have to be logged into My Spanish Lab, and you'll have access to the vocabulary. So Quizlet is great, and one thing though for students, especially who learn better by writing things out, I'm one of those people, I always have a handwritten to-do list because I remember the things that I need to do better if I've handwritten them. So if you are one of those people, the vocabulary lists are really long. It would take a long time to handwrite them. That may be valuable to you. I've seen a lot of students bring in their notebooks where they've handwritten, copied out the entire vocabulary list, and that works really well for them. Or they've made flashcards for themselves. But one thing to think about, if you're pressed for time but you want to make use of handwritten vocabulary cards, is go through and either identify the words that you're struggling with the most, maybe go through Quizlet and kind of star the words that you're struggling with the most, or identify the ones that you think are the most important. One way to do that is ask yourself, if I were going to have a conversation about whatever the topic is of the current chapter, which words would I need the most? And use that as a way to sort of triage, to identify the most important words that you need to work on, and just handwrite flashcards for those. So hopefully that gives you an idea for how to give yourself access throughout the week to some of the materials, the new content, so that you can be working on it and getting familiar with it throughout the week before you sit down on Saturday and Sunday to do your homework and get things submitted. And of course, if you are working on this throughout the week, which is ideal, you can still use these tools and they can be valuable to you as you work on giving your brain the time to process all of this new content that you're learning in a language course. Hope that's helpful, and I will see you all online.